Hello, everybody, and welcome to Up Close and Personal. This is Ria, and we are back with another multi talented artist, another new perspective that you are going to get when it comes to performing arts. Well, I'm sure you guys have been following our page, and you already know how we've had different people till date on Up Close and Personal. We started with somebody with classical music. Then we also went ahead with a lyricist. And today, let me introduce you to somebody who has a very, very different perspective to music. And I'm not sure how many of you would actually have this perspective to music as well. So, before we go ahead, let me first welcome on screen our guest for today, Mary Isis. Hello, Mary. Can we see you?
Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Mary. And well, I already just before some time told you it's a lovely setup. I'm in love with all the colorful things that you have. So
I love
for
colors.
everybody, yeah, same here. All right. For everybody out here who are, meeting Mary for the first time, is going to meet Mary's music for the first time. Let me tell you, Mary is not just simply to do with plain entertainment music. She has a very different scope. She has a very different look towards music, and she's majorly into nature and music that is into healing. So today we are going to take this opportunity and like understand what is this sort of healing, right, Mary?
Yes, I'm so happy to talk about this.
Great. So, I want to begin with this whole thing of what exactly is this concept of healing music? I say that because I've heard a lot of people who obviously have a different way of doing this, but there is this something known as healing music, like, music which actually heals people. So, what is the concept behind that?
Well, I actually think it's an ancient concept because when music arose very, very long time ago, who knows when it came about, it's a true gift of humanity. Um, and a lot of times this music was in ceremony for healing rituals and, shamanic traditions of the world. And so I'm not sure if there's this term known in India, but we have a kind of genre that we refer to our music, my friends and I, as medicine music. So the healing music, it's music that inspires and uplifts the spirits. We sing about transformation, emotional integration, and incorporate beautiful instruments into our music
Right.
for a healing experience, because music in itself with certain sounds is healing.
Right, right. Yes, and yes, even in India, there are people who do healing music, and they have like it's a complete medicine, as you rightly mentioned, and there is a whole entire process that happens. I'm not too sure in detail about what are the kind of healing that's done, but I will surely try and know that more from you. But Mary, tell me, like, how did you come to this genre? Usually as a child, I believe you've been doing music from like really a very young age, 6 or 7.
Yes. Yes, that's
so,
right. Yeah.
so
So
how
I
did you?
started
Yeah,
playing music. Let's see, I was like 6 or 7. Singing was my first instrument, so my voice. I just
right.
naturally would pick up songs that I would hear. My mother noticed that I was very musically inclined, so I started taking piano lessons when I was really young. And so yeah, just like any child growing up in this culture, we are subjected to like popular music. So of course I loved all of the pop music out there in my genre. Like I was, let's see, I was born in 1980, so um I
Mm,
didn't get into this healing type of music until probably my early 20s, when I started getting involved with healing ceremonies and
right.
um, sharing music in really intimate settings with a high intention for healing. And
Okay.
yeah, so I prefer to, it's really my prayer to create music that's going to be of service to the world.
Right.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, that you were doing popular music first. I mean, like every child, they just copy, they cover, and then. But how
Yeah.
did you like, come to the? Of course, there were prayers and all. But what about creating music? So when did you start that?
Okay,
That was
so
early
actually
too.
that began really young as well. So I don't know if you remember cassette tapes. So I come from the 80s.
I
So I
do.
used to have a cassette player that I used to record myself making up songs when I was 4 or 5 years old. And
Wow.
that's evolved into when I started going to college. In my
Okay.
first year in college, I got my first laptop computer. It came installed with GarageBand. And so I started recording music just
Ah.
using GarageBand to begin with. And since then, I've definitely gotten some better programs and equipment for recording. So yeah, I began
Right.
recording as soon as I was able to because that's always been my dream, apparently, since I was a child.
Oh. Okay, that's pretty early, right? Because nobody even
Yeah.
realizes that much at an early age. But that's really nice to know. And what about what do you call? Of course, these things were happening, but what about the healing part? And you also mentioned that you are into praying, and then that getting converted into music. How
Right.
how was that, like some insights that you got, or you just thought, let me try
Mm.
this out?
It's hard to pinpoint a certain time or moment. I think I just had the predisposition to create this music that would be uplifting, and I felt the calling that the world needs this type of music. There's enough pop music out there in the world that, it all has a lot of the same messages, and I wanted to create something different. I guess it started with a vision that I had in my mind of who I wanted to be and like what role I wanted to play in music. Not
Right,
just, like you said, not just for entertainment, but for a higher purpose. Yeah.
right.
So I don't
That's
know. I think it
that's
just really started unfolding in my early 20s is when I first really began to focus on the music because I went through many years kind of putting it on the shelf and not realizing that that was going to be my main gift to offer in my life. I went to school. I worked in education for quite a few years, working with children in schools, and I loved that.
okay.
And then I just decided I went on a big travel about 6 years ago. That's like when I went to
Mhm.
India and like many countries, and then I left my job during that time, and I just never went back to the job, but just started really focusing on the
That's,
music. Yeah.
I think that's a thing with artists, they do try, okay, let me try this, let me try that. And then, at the end of the day, you realize, no, I don't think I need anything. I'm just pretty happy with my own, four walls and my instruments around me.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to, it's a challenge as an artist to find my own way. And I'm kind of like the first in my family to really like be an entrepreneur and like trying to make a living with my art. But it's really fulfilling, but it's really challenging at the same time.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Well, the fact that we're talking about your, early days, how about you tell us a bit about early days songs or something that, you used to really hum or really love singing at that early stage in your life? And if we could even hear a bit from you.
Oh my goodness. That's a interesting question. Um,
Because,
my
I feel,
grandmother,
yeah,
my
yeah,
grandmother was the
yeah.
first person that really sang to me. And
Hmm.
when I was with her, she would sing to me um, any song that she knew. And, a lot of them were really like oldies from her era that she lived. And um, which was really special because as she got older and older, I was singing her the same songs that she used to sing me.
Same song.
And yeah, and so music was a real big bond between her and I really feel like she
Right.
instilled that in me. So it's hard to think of one particular song, but
Anything
you
that
know
you
what? There
that you
is
really love.
one. There is one that comes to
Sure.
mind, and it's a song that became famous from a movie,
Hmm.
probably gosh, I don't know what year, but you've probably heard it, and it's Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So
Of
that
course
is,
I have.
yeah, yeah.
I
So
love that song.
that song,
Oh,
she
it's,
would
yeah.
sing to me that song and the Judy Garland version. And then years later, when
Yes.
my family moved from California to Hawaii, there's another version of another artist that sings that song that was done in a different way, and his name was Bretta Is, and he was from Hawaii, and he became, well, he made that song famous again because he made his own version. His voice is like an angel, so I'm gonna maybe sing his version. I'll
Sure.
do a quick
Please do.
version.
Oh, yeah, please.
So this is
Go
the
ahead.
ukulele, and it's the popular instrument they play in Hawaii. It's very easy to take with you everywhere you go. So when I travel, I usually take my ukulele with me.
Lovely.
Well, I didn't practice this ahead of time, so maybe I'll do it a cappella. So it goes like this. Somewhere, wait, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard once in a lullaby. Somewhere, someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. So yeah, that's one of the songs we used to sing together, and probably one of the first songs I learned from her.
It was lovely, but
I didn't
I
practice,
wish
but
to know more. No worries. And it's such a lovely song. So everybody, guys, if you're listening, please go and check out this song, because I'm sure if you hear this has that old feel, right? And
yes.
and a perfect song for the ukulele. So now coming to you played the ukulele. For everybody who doesn't know what's an ukulele, you've seen it. I believe you're also a multi-instrumentalist, right? So what all
Right,
do you play?
yeah.
The ukulele, the guitar, what else?
I started with the piano, and then when I
Sure.
moved to Hawaii, I taught myself guitar and ukulele. And I also have another stringed instrument. This is from Bolivia. It's called a charango, and it's similar to a ukulele, but it's got more strings.
Uh-huh.
It's got a really beautiful sound to it. And while in India, I got a tamburi. So I don't play that often unless I'm chanting. I have
Right.
many instruments. I have kalimbas. So these are wonderful instruments that originate in Africa. So they're just beautiful. And I got this, actually, this is made not far from where I live. And I love to play healing sound instruments like singing bowls, and just tone or chant with those as a meditation practice. So using sound as a meditation. And any kind of percussion. I love percussion as well. Yeah.
Right. So you try to do, and all this is learned by yourself, or were you like schooling or
Yeah,
learning?
yeah.
And
I only took piano lessons, so everything else I've just taught myself, and I learn by ear a lot of the time. So when I took piano, I don't know if you're familiar with the Suzuki method, but it really trains you to learn by ear. So I can hear a song. Of course, I wouldn't be able to figure out like a classical Indian piece, but but yeah, most songs in the popular music world are pretty simple to figure out. And yeah, so
right.
just taught myself mostly.
I think the piano teaches you the notes, and then the notes are what your song is, like the
Exactly. And
basics.
if that's what I do to figure out like the chords of a song. I'll go to the piano and figure it out there, and then transfer
Right.
to any other instrument. Yeah.
Lovely. You know what? I'm dying to hear you sing on all the instruments.
Okay.
So
Which
yes, that
instrument
will
would
be
you like to
pending.
hear?
I wish there were all of them, one by one.
Okay.
But
So
yeah,
I'll start a song on my ukulele. And
yes,
this is a song that I usually start with. So, you know, I do offer performances and concerts occasionally, of course,
right.
with the whole um, pandemic. Everything's been shut down, and I haven't done a
Yes,
show in a really long
yes.
time. So this is a song I like
None
to
of us
start.
have.
So thank you, internet, right? Um,
Yes.
this is a song called Mahalo, and Mahalo means thank you in Hawaiian. So a lot of my
Okay.
music has been influenced from my time living on the big island of Hawaii. And it's a very amazing place. You know, I would immerse myself in nature as much as I could, and that's where I went to college and studied the sciences and just have a real deep love for nature. And this song sings of the gratitude I have for the elements of nature, the ocean and the earth. And so I'll sing a little bit in Hawaiian. You'll hear some of the Hawaiian language in the song.
Sure.
And this is the first track on my debut album, my very first
Right.
album. It's the first track. I give thanks for life from my roots up to my crown. I give thanks for love that's within and all around. I give thanks for the rain, sacred waters of rebirth. I give thanks for the sun always shining on the earth. I give thanks for I am a conscious co-creator. I give thanks for I am my own liberator. I give thanks for you, you who shine so true. Aloha, I honor the divinity in you. Aloha is almost like the Hawaiian version of namaste. Mahalo ke akua, mahalo nui loa, mahalo ka honua, me ke kai me kamakania me ka ua. I give thanks for we are the conscious co-creators. I give thanks for we are our own liberators. I give thanks for you, you who shine so true. Aloha, I honor the divinity in you. Mahalo Kiakua is giving thanks to the great creator of all. Mahalo Kiakua, mahalo nui loa. Mahalo Kiakua, mahalo nui loa. Mahalo ka honua to the earth. Me ke kai me kamakania me ka ua. I give thanks for we are the conscious co-creators. I give thanks for we are our own liberators. I give thanks for you, you who shine so true. Aloha, I honor the divinity in you.
Woo! That was so beautiful. So beautiful,
Thank
Mary.
you.
Really.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a special
Really.
song, and it's a popular song of mine, and probably it's shared amongst the healing communities that I'm a part of, and I'm really happy when I see my music being played and shared. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and getting around.
So, Mary, what is, again, like come to a little bit of details in healing music. So
Mhm.
what, I read about you mentioning the visionary, what is this medicine, music and
Yeah.
medicine? What are you
Visionary
looking forward
medicine
to
music.
in
Yes.
terms of, yeah.
So the visionary aspect of the music is, so to be a visionary means you are focusing your vision and like getting clear with what you want to see in the world and who you want to be in the world. So with my process of songwriting and bringing songs out to the
Mm-hmm.
world, it's this intentional process of really listening to, well, what is the medicine that the world needs right now? And I just
Okay.
tune into that, and it's a process of like listening, and call it what you may, coming from the spirit, coming from my guides, coming from just my soul. And so the yeah, visionary medicine music is music that has an intention and a vision for healing. And it's, some of my songs are have to do with my own personal healing journey, but I think they're universal. And my intention is that they help people to feel more empowered, to tune in and tap into their own power within themselves and know that they have the capability to heal themselves. And music is just such a wonderful tool for that. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yes, yes, it does. But and what is the kind of process that you use to get to this? Of course, you're thinking. What I've got till now from you is you're thinking and you're making your prayers. And what is the? But when it
Yeah.
comes to creating, in
Hmm.
terms of what would be your process? Is
Yeah.
there something that you follow, like my outline, and you know?
It's actually, it's different. It's, I have various processes. So sometimes it's I starting with the emotions that I'm feeling and the desire to create, because I think we're all creative beings. It doesn't matter what you do, if you're an artist or whatever you do, we all have a creative desire to create
Right.
something in the world. So it's oftentimes I'll pick up the instrument or maybe even
Mm-hmm.
just a singing bowl, and it might start with a melody. This is one way. So it might just start with, first of all, like the feeling that I'm having inside, and I'm just listening. And I'm just going to trust what I'm feeling and what I might be hearing in my mind, and I'll just start singing it. Or I'll pick
Mm-hmm.
up, like if I have my ukulele or guitar, I'll just start strumming the chords, and the words just start to form. And yeah, and so it'll come with like a refrain to begin with, and I'll just start pick up my pen and start writing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it comes in like all one sitting, or sometimes a
Right.
song might be unfinished for quite a while before it gets finished. Sometimes dream songs come to me in dreams, in my sleep, and like I'll wake
Okay.
up and I'll remember a piece from the dream, and I've
Mm-hmm.
incorporated that into songs that I've recorded. And then also another way is I might write like a poem or a writing to start with, and
Right.
then I might put it to music after. So there's no one way. It can be many different ways. But really it's a
Just
process
that's the
of
way
just
it comes.
trusting myself, trusting if it feels true for me, you know? Yeah.
No, that's really nice, because like I hear a lot of people say that, first I write and then maybe I put music, and then sometimes it's like you said, it, and some people are like anything, it just the way it comes, it's pretty natural. That's what they follow. And what about inspirations? Like, do you have
Hmm.
you know inspirations that you follow, or something
Yeah,
that really motivates you to into?
definitely. Well, nature is my biggest inspiration. Probably, I oftentimes get little songs that come through when I go out for a walk. I live in a place that
Right.
I'm close to many places I can just go into the forest, so it's really nice.
Ah,
I feel blessed.
that's lovely. We
Yeah,
we miss
so
that, but yes.
so being in nature is a big inspiration. Another inspiration is humanity, you know, and since I'm writing, I want to bring these songs forth to help awaken consciousness. That's like one of my main intentions. So I tune into, you know, what are people going through? Like, what do people need help with? And I know, like, if I'm coming from a true place, like my own struggles, if I write songs about like what I'm struggling with, guaranteed someone else is struggling with the same thing and it's going to help someone else. So yeah,
Absolutely.
humanity and nature, and but mostly nature, I would say. I really want to inspire a reconnection with the natural world, and also just, you know, the truth of that we're all connected, our interconnection and
Right.
unity. Yeah.
Right. And I think we can totally see that in all your social handles. If you see, guys, please go to Mary's social handle and see the connection she has with nature, because she really does. It's not just that she says so. I see so many wonderful pictures, wonderful videos, and all have some or the other nature there in it. So that is, you truly mean what you say. So yes. What about Mary? Would you also want to let everybody out here know about other inspirational people who do such kind of music, things that, because again, not many people are aware of people who do such specific sort of music. So
Right.
is there?
Yeah. I'm curious, what is the main way that you stream music in India? Do you use Spotify ever?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so a lot of a good way of finding music like my type of music would be to go to my Spotify, and then
Mhm.
it says more artists like me, and
Like,
many of those
okay.
artists are actually friends
Right.
of mine and people I know.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a good way of, or like I have my own like radio station through Spotify, Mary Isis Radio. All of the music on that would reflect a lot of the same message that I'm
Right.
trying to put out there. Yeah.
Right. Also, Mary, let me tell you, we actually got to know of you from Inside Timer. So and we found a few of your songs over there as well. So would you want to perform a bit of something that's already there? Let me check what's the name.
Sure. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm so happy you found me there
the
because
Om, yeah.
I think how about
Or probably anything that you like.
I'll do the mantra to the moon. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I shared all of my chants on Insight Timer.
Mhm.
So I have an album called There's No Place Like Om, and that album has all of the songs. I have incorporated traditional Vedic mantras in them, and I love that album, actually. It's one of my favorite albums. And then also my own lyrics within them as well. So I
Wow.
will sing a song from, or it's more of a chant, actually. And I need to get my other instrument for this one, which is a different type of kalimba called a sansula.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a
What is it
really,
called?
it's called a sansula. It's got a very
Ah,
beautiful sound to it. So this song, well, it's more of a chant kind of a song. And it's I just want to make sure I have, okay.
I'm so glad, Mary, we're getting to see you perform live and such beautiful, different kind of music. Really glad
Thank
for being a
you.
sport. You are like,
So this is the Chandra Sloka, which is like a verse, a Vedic verse. And it's also known as Soma's Sloka. And it's to bring calm and peace to the mind. So Insight Timer is one of those kinds of apps that are used for meditation or for helping
yes.
persons sleep. I use it all the time for
Yeah.
helping me sleep if I can't go to sleep. So it begins with the Gayatri mantra for the moon. Actually, I don't remember if I played this, but I'll just play this with it anyway. I'm making it up as I go along. Om Shiraputraya Vidmahe Amritatvaya Dhimahi Tanno Chandra Prachodaya. And then it switches to a different key. Om Dadishan Katusharabam Kshiradharnavasambhavan Namami Shashinam Somam Shambhor Mukutabhushamam Om Dadishan Katusharabam Kshiradharnavasambhavan Namami Shashinam Somam Shambhor Mukutabhushamam Om Dadishan Katusharabam Kshiradharnavasambhavan Namami Shashinam Somam Shambhor Mukutabhushamam. I apologize for the mix-up with the instruments.
No, it's so raw and lovely. It's beautiful.
This is this very beautiful chant that I don't chant that often, and so I'm glad you asked me to do a song that I do from the Insight Timer, because it's a challenge for me because I didn't think to practice these ahead of time, but I have a deep love and respect for the Vedic wisdom tradition, and I hope that it's received. I hope that it doesn't feel like I'm culturally appropriating anything, because I really have such a deep respect for this tradition, and I just find it fascinating. And yeah, I've always had an interest in this, so I feel really honored to share that. Coming from India,
and we feel lovely. No. I don't think there is anything else to look at it as, apart from looking at it as art and music and, the sacred process rather than anything. Have you ever come across people actually coming and telling you that this has, kind of relieved them from a lot of things? Have you had those testimonies from people or so?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
People send me messages quite often, either through social media or through my website, and I save all of the messages too, and I save them in a little folder on my computer, because it really helps me to keep me on the path, and helps me remember why I'm doing this and that I am making a difference. I need that sometimes to get the reflection. Yeah.
Maybe you also have a band, right?
Occasionally.
Do you? Yeah. And also,
Yeah.
we were really, I wanted to ask you to speak about your most popular album, I guess, The Nectarian.
Yeah.
So please tell us a little about that, and, the
Oh,
music
thank
in
you.
that. And
Yes.
yes.
So my first album from 2013, I was living on the Big Island of Hawaii during that time, and I had a
Mm-hmm.
partner that had a lot of experience with producing music, and he helped me
Okay.
to bring that album out to the world. He
Wow.
recorded it for me. We produced it together, and I had already recorded a lot of the songs myself, like, using GarageBand, like I said, but he
Yeah.
helped to create a very beautiful album for me. And that album has really reached a lot of people, probably more than any album so far.
Right.
And Yes, so the group I used to play with, and every time I do go back to Hawaii, they're still there. I have a couple friends that I enjoy playing music with, a percussionist, a person who plays bass, and then another friend who does some percussion and sings harmony vocals with me. And it kind of just
Right.
changes. Like I have friends in many places, so depending where I am, I might call them up if I have a show and ask if they'd like to play with me. I'll try to get in a practice or two beforehand, but a lot of the
Right.
times it's just we get together and magic happens. And so here in California, I have some wonderful musicians that back me up once in a while. I was touring a little bit with a friend of mine named Chad Wilkins,
Mhm.
who's an amazing
Okay.
songwriter and definitely in the same genre as me. And he's got an amazing band. So while touring with him,
Wow.
they would also back me. So that was wonderful. Yeah.
Wow, wow. But again, going back to Nectarian, why that name, and how did that? Of course, I've heard all the songs in it, and
Yeah.
even Earth's Child was my favorite. I really loved it. If it
Oh,
was
thank
a,
you. Well, the
yeah.
name, it is a good story because a dear friend of mine who, let's see, he lives in London now, I think. He he once told me in a message, he's like, "You're a true nectarian." And so
Mhm.
a nectarian, what is a nectarian? Well, if you think of like a hummingbird or a creature that feeds
Mhm.
on nectar, right? Like a vegetarian,
Yeah.
but a nectarian. So so and what is the nectar? Figuratively, it could be what is the sweetness of your life, and for me it's tapping into presence, true presence and awareness and the bliss of life, what we're capable of experiencing in this human body. Um, so yeah, so a nectarian, when he wrote me that message, it was just this word that really stuck. And when it
Mm.
came to be
Mhm.
like I was gonna be releasing this album, I'm like, I don't know, I don't have a song named that or a song with that word in it at all, but that's the name of the album.
And I see you've quite kind of stuck with that name because it's like all over your pages and it's still there. You still use it.
Right.
So,
No, I use it for my recording, my music production company. I call it Nectarian Music.
yeah,
So it's almost like
yeah.
I kind of created my own genre called Nectarian Music. So like music that is tapping into the nectar of life, which could mean anything to anybody,
Yeah,
but for me, it namely it has to do with tapping into like what brings you joy, what brings you bliss,
correct.
and yeah.
Yeah, but and it completely goes with you. So I think your friend has done like a wonder for you then,
Yes,
given you a
absolutely.
perfect name. But Mary, can we please hear something from whichever is your favorite from the
Yeah,
Nectarian album?
yeah. Well, I'll play your favorite song that you already mentioned.
Yes, yes. In fact,
So
I started hearing and then it went on a loop, and I was like, okay, I really, kind of, so lovely if you're playing that.
actually, I'll play the guitar for this one. So yeah, this is also probably one of my most popular songs. And
Yes.
once you start hearing my music, you'll notice I have a lot of lyrics. And
Right.
yeah. So actually, I just released a songbook because a lot of people kept asking me for the
Yes.
lyrics and the chords, so I finally have a songbook now. Okay. Sitting on the ground watching the clouds drift by, body rooted in the earth with my spirit in the sky, breathing in the air rhythmically in time with the pulse of my heart. I am so naturally high. I've arrived at a point that I can trust to carry on this journey of love. I must incorporate the lessons learned in this life to make the best of this blessing of being alive. I'm reaching down, nourishing
every day I remember there is more to discover in the teachings of the trees and the lessons of the leaves. I shape shift the sounds as I am listening. Crystalline healing from leaf and vine, on the smoke of the flowering herbs I climb. Up this mountain it's a steep incline, and no matter how many times that I fall, I will keep on trying. I hear a voice on the bridge, she says, never give up, keep on flying. I see the sign of the time, she says it's serious, but keep on smiling. Don't let nobody bring you down, stand tall, wear your crown and walk humbly. Guided by the moon, the sun and stars, remember who you are. I'm making love with life just the way I should. I lay my body on Gaia cause she feels so good. Feel her powerful fire pulsing through my veins, feeling her waters cool me down in her purifying rains. I'm floating on the surface of the sea, I'm a part of everything. I feel it in every cell of my radiance being. I shine in the sun and I glow in the night. I'm enlightened in this earthly orgasmic delight. I'm reaching down, nourishing my roots with my love, giving thanks to the ground. I'm reaching high, radiating love as I give my thanks to the sky. I'm reaching wide, I don't know how far I can go, I'm just here for the ride. I'm reaching in, I'm purging the pain and the shame, and I know I will win. Ooh, oh, I'm Earth's child, born to sing of her splendor. I'm Earth's child, born to sing of her splendor. I'm Earth's child, born to sing of her splendor. I'm Earth's child, born to sing of her splendor. I'm Earth's child, born to sing of her splendor.
Thank you.
I'm a fan.
Thank you.
Really, it is so amazing to do this live. Oh my God, really nice.
So that song
Okay.
actually has an interesting story, because that originally, when I first wrote that song, it was to a pre-recorded track that someone had given me, and it wasn't even like me playing the music. And I just started, the lyrics just started coming to me like listening to the music track. And so I have this like whole other old version of that. But then when I finally recorded my own album, the first album, I created, you know, I finally made it my own and did my own music for it.
Wow.
So
And did your
sometimes
magic.
songs, yeah, sometimes the songs evolve and there can be various versions of them. And yeah, and it's definitely inspired by the healing plant medicines. So I know,
Right.
you know, there's a rich practice of plant medicines in India, Ayurveda, and so
Yes.
yeah, it's a big part of my life is working with the plants and the plant wisdom. Yeah.
It's lovely, Mary. Like, you know what? We're gonna I'm gonna I hope we get another slot someday where we only listening to your music and there's no talking and you just singing, because you're so amazing doing even these
Oh,
live,
thank
you know,
you.
it's
Well,
also yeah, please carry on. Say.
well, yeah, just I have so much music out there online. Yeah, you can stream at any
Yes.
time. So, in fact, I just put out 2 albums in the last month. Because in the past year, I've just been really focusing on music since there wasn't much else to do, and I have a home recording studio. So I put out 2 albums, and I also produced an album for someone else. So I do also do
Right.
production for other people. But
Wow.
yeah, I'm all over, YouTube. I have my own channel on YouTube, so I have music videos that I make there and tutorials. Because a lot of people want to
Mm-hmm.
learn my songs, and they're pretty easy,
Yes.
pretty
Yeah.
simple structure. So yeah, you can find me on anywhere online, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify,
Yes.
all of that. Yeah.
So everybody who is looking to, hear Mary and a lot of her music, she has like not just Nectarian, but I guess more 6 or 7 albums out there, right? 6 more albums out there.
Well, I
So
have 10 now.
10 now. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
lovely.
But yeah, a couple of them, well, one of them I made like a compilation of different healing songs from different traditions. So that one you can find yeah, you can find that one. It's called Nectar Medicine. So they're not just only my
Okay.
songs, but songs from many different traditions.
Lovely, lovely.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna check that out. I haven't.
Yeah, you'd like
I'll
it.
check that out. Yeah. Also, I wish, once this whole pandemic and things are over and when there is travel, I really hope you also down here in India and we can hear you live here. But
I would love
you
that.
said you said you did visit India like some long time back. How
Yes,
was
I
it?
did
How was the
not make it
experience
to
here?
Mumbai. Unfortunately,
Okay.
I was only there, well, I was there for 2 months, but India is a very big
Two
country and
months. Yes. Where were you?
yeah.
Where were you here?
So for the most part, I was in Tamil Nadu in the south,
Uh-huh.
and
Okay.
I spent a little time in Tiruvannamalai, and I have a dear brother, like soul brother to me, that his family they
Okay.
live in that town, and I happened to meet him in Hawaii. He was traveling, and so I remembered that he lived there, and so when I went to India, I reached out to him and got to stay with him. So I spent some time
Amazing.
there. I also spent time at an ashram in Vellore area.
Hmm.
I visited Pondicherry to go to Auroville, which was really
Oh,
interesting.
yes.
But
Yes. I'm
upon
sure you loved
arriving,
that.
yeah, I
Uh-huh.
loved it there. Upon arriving, actually, what our entry to India, my partner at the time that I was traveling with was in Kolkata. That's where we landed and
Hmm.
arrived. And that was just amazing. It was, yeah, my introduction to India, and I think it was perfect to start there because it's such a rich, with so much tradition and history and music and poetry and the arts, and I just loved it. I learned so much and had so many good experiences.
No, I'm sure. Yeah, and we will only, look forward to see you back here. And this time when you are here in India, it has to also be Mumbai.
Please, I would love that. Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Mary, we're almost like towards the end. You've already told us about where we can find you, where the rest of us can find you when it comes to your music. What about, do you also want to tell us about if there is anything that we are looking forward to, that we should look forward to when it comes to your music that's happening? Any
Hmm.
plans, any sessions that you're doing? And we can
Um, let's see. So I have a Patreon. Are you familiar with Patreon? Patreon is
yeah.
a platform for creators, for creatives that are creating art or music, or some people who have podcasts, they'll have a Patreon page. And it's a subscription-based platform where I'm
Hmm.
continually producing music. So every month I
Okay.
put out a couple songs, and I also offer one-on-one sessions. So if people want to work with me and enhance their songwriting capabilities, or just, if
Right.
songwriting is new to them, or if they're wanting to get more in touch with their own voice, I've done
Hmm.
one-on-one sessions with people.
Wow.
through Zoom, or yeah, mostly Zoom. So that's available. And I just would encourage people to just find me online and check out my new album. The most recent one is called Let It Flow. And I'm
Let it flow.
starting to tap into a little more of like electronic music as well.
Right.
So I want to create music that people are going to want to move their body to, and but also that's going
Right.
to have a really positive message as well. So
Right. I
yeah,
can only imagine and kind of vision what you're looking at, and the sounds that I've heard from you already. I think it's going to be another different magic out there once it's all done. And for everybody here, please go check out Let It Flow.
yeah, let
And
it flow.
can we, Mary, request you to end the session with maybe a song from Let It Flow, if at
Sure.
all.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay, so this is the last song on Let It Flow, and I play a special drum. I'll hold it up. This is called a Rav
Wow.
bass drum, and it's a hand
Uh-huh.
pan drum. So it's a really beautiful sound. I hope the sound comes through okay, because it's very resonant sounding. Well, maybe I'll use my hands for this, but this song is called I Am Forgiving. So
Okay.
it's a play on words, and I say I am forgiving and I am for living. I hold the key. Well, I'll just sing it and you'll hear. I've repeated a few times. So. I think it'll be better. Can you hear that okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. I am forgiving. I am for living. I hold the key to serenity within me. I am forgiving. I am for living. The kindness I seek is in the words I speak and in the thoughts I think. Peace begins in me. I am forgiving. I am for living. I hold the key to serenity within me. I am forgiving. I am for living. The kindness I seek is in the words I speak and in the thoughts I think. Peace begins in me. So imagine this with like an electronic beat.
It's lovely. It's lovely. I just don't want this to stop.
Yeah, these are beautiful
Really.
instruments. Thank you.
It's beautiful. And like you said, with the electronic, it's going to be like another world. Guys,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a lovely trailer that you saw. You must check out, and I'm sure you're going to like get addicted to this kind of music. Thank you so much, Mary. It was really a pleasure. I'm so glad I found you and I got this opportunity to talk to you and understand a lot of things, and especially the sport you are to, just pick up and start singing. It was amazing.
Thank you so
Really.
much. And I really enjoyed talking to you too. Let's keep in touch.
Yes, absolutely. And yes, thank you. And let's hope we will soon do maybe probably another session, which is only and only our music. And yeah.
Wonderful.
All
Take
right.
two, second time. All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Blessings.